Lust is a powerful craving for something, whether it be sexual desire, often referred to as libido, wealth, or power. It can also manifest in more ordinary ways, such as an intense longing for food, distinguishing it from mere hunger, or a specific scent that evokes memories. While similar to passion, lust is different in that passion drives people toward positive goals, whereas lust does not. Asmodeus, also known as Asmodeus, is a demon king in the legends surrounding Solomon and the construction of Solomon's temple. As one of the 7 princes of hell, Asmodeus represents lust, one of the 7 deadly sins. As the demon of lust, he influences human sexual desires, and those who succumb to his temptations are doomed to spend eternity in the 2nd layer of hell. Asmodeus appears in various Talmudic stories as the king of the Shadim, demons. The Quran, in Surah Sa'd, verses 30-40, mentions a puppet in the story of Solomon, which some Islamic scholars interpret as a reference to Asmodeus, also known as Saker. In Christian tradition, Asmodeus is best known from the Deuterocanonical book of Tobit, where he plays the role of the main antagonist, disrupting Sarah's marriages. Peter Binsfeld identified Asmodeus as the demon of lust. The name Asmodeus is thought to come from the Avestan term Ashma Daiva, where Ashma means wrath and Daiva means demon. In Zoroastrianism, the demon Ashma represents wrath, but the compound Ashmadaeva does not appear in their scriptures. However, it is believed that such a form may have existed, and that the Asmodeus in the Book of Tobit and Ashmedai in the Talmud are derived from it. In Zoroastrian and Middle Persian demonology, there is a similar term, Kashem Dev, which contains cognates of both words. However, the Jewish Encyclopedia of 1906 disputes the commonly accepted etymological connection between the Persian Eshmadeva and the Jewish Ashmodai, arguing that the Deva ending could not have become Dai, and noting that the compound name Eshmadeva never actually appears in Persian sacred texts. The encyclopedia suggests that Asmodeus, from the Apocrypha and the Testament of Solomon, shares a connection with Ashma, reflecting similarities in behavior, appearance, and roles. In another entry under Ashma, specifically in the section Influence of Persian Beliefs on Judaism, the encyclopedia proposes that Persian Zoroastrian beliefs may have significantly influenced Jewish theology over time. While some texts show notable differences in concepts, others reveal striking similarities, indicating a pattern of influence that extends to Jewish mythology. The Jewish Encyclopedia further argues that, although Eshma does not appear in the Avesta alongside Deva, it is likely that a fuller form, such as Eshmodeus, existed, similar to the later Pahlavi term, Kashem Dev. This suggests that Asmodeus, or Ashmedai, represents an example of the impact that Persian religion or popular beliefs had on Judaism. In the Testament of Solomon, a text from the 1st to 3rd centuries, King Solomon invokes Asmodeus to assist in the construction of the temple. The demon appears and foretells that Solomon's kingdom will eventually be divided, verses 21-25. During further questioning, Solomon learns that Asmodeus is weakened by the angel Raphael and by sheetfish found in the rivers of Assyria. Asmodeus also reveals a hatred for water and claims to be the offspring of a human mother and an angel father. In the Malleus Maleficarum, 1486, Asmodeus is identified as the demon of lust, with St. John recognized as his adversary, according to Sebastian Michaelis. Some 16th century demonologists believed that Asmodeus held the most power during November and assigned him the zodiac sign Aquarius, particularly between January 30th and February 8th. He commands 72 legions of demons and is one of the kings of hell under Lucifer, the emperor. Asmodeus is known for inciting gambling and is considered the overseer of all gambling houses in Hell's court. Some Catholic theologians compared him to Abaddon, while others viewed him as a prince of revenge. In Colin de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal, 1818, Asmodeus is depicted with the torso of a man, a cock's leg, a serpent's tail, and 3 heads, one of a man spitting fire, one of a sheep, and one of a bull, riding a lion with dragon wings and neck. These elements symbolize lust, lasciviousness, and revenge in various cultures. The Archbishop of Paris approved this portrayal. Asmodeus was also mentioned by the nuns of Loudun during the infamous Loudun possessions of 1634. His reputation as the embodiment of lust persisted in later literature, where he was referred to as the Prince of Lechery in the 16th century romance Friar Rush. The French Benedictine Augustin Calmet associated his name with fine clothing. The 1409 Lollard manuscript Lanterne of Light linked Asmodeus to the deadly sin of lust. The 16th century Dutch demonologist Johann Weyer described him as the banker at Hell's baccarat table and the overseer of earthly gambling houses. According to Kabbalistic tradition and the teachings of Shlomo ibn Aderet, Asmodeus was born from the union between Agrat bat Mahlat and King David. In the treatise on the left emanation, which discusses Sitra Akra, Aramaic for the other side, or the side of evil, Asmodeus is portrayed as a being dwelling in the third ether of heaven. In Islamic tradition, Asmodeus is referred to as a demon named Sakr, meaning rock, likely alluding to his fate of being imprisoned within a rock, bound by iron chains, and cast into the sea, or his association with the desires of the material world. He is a key adversary of the prophet Solomon and is sometimes linked with the Ifrit, who offered to carry Solomon's throne. In the tale of Bulukiya, Asmodeus instructs a young Jewish prince about the 7 layers of hell. Medieval Islamic interpretations of Asmodeus are plentiful, and he became a central figure in the exegesis, tafsir, of the Quranic verse Surah 38-34. We allowed Solomon to be seduced by temptation, and we cast a body upon his throne. Then he repented. The scholar Al-Tabari, 839-923 AD, identifies the body mentioned in the verse as a shaitan in both his Annals of Al-Tabari and his tafsir. Abd al-Razzaq Kashan, commenting on Surah 38-34, explains that the Satan who sat on Solomon's throne and took his ring symbolizes the elemental earthly nature, ruler over the lower sea of matter, known as Sakr, or rock, due to its tendency towards base things, much like a stone's heaviness. Aziz ad-Din Nasafi describes Solomon as a caliph, representing the ruling intellect, whose duty is to subdue physical passions. Otherwise, these forces will seize control of the mind, turning into a usurping demon. Solomon's ring symbolizes dominion over the forces of nature, and his fall into lust and idolatry led to the loss of this command. Similarly, the poet Attar of Nishapur offers an allegory. One must act like a triumphant Solomon by chaining the demons of the nafs, lower self, and imprisoning the demon prince in a rock before the Ra, soul, can begin its journey toward the divine. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.